Good morning once more. We go start and so because most areas they will they discuss what we don't discuss that relating to the Middle East and relating also to being a Muslim, the Islamic. And today now a very significant topic we can discuss, based on Saudi Arabia, and we just can create more positive outlook and positive incitement them from what a man for understand. Would that blind go see? Would that deaf go hear? Inshallah, through Tazmo. When I see how we topic and we head into STEM, the time again, almost about 8:30. My apologies. But we get work for do. And every day there information stay while they sit down, they do a research for make sure say, I get the right things there, cook me own cook for make sure say when I eat proper. So now that's we count. What you gain from this page here, I will definitely assure you say go get in a school. I definitely assure you say go get in a school, especially inside salon. So take privilege and make this an opportunity for yourself for learn small. Not to just about salon, but try to understand about the world. And again, we always emphasize say the world like a global village. Where you know the world, you understand the world. Everything that looks small to you. But if you don't know nothing, your eye just big and open. And you become doomed or a fool. So the full man that will get them boku. And no one start inside salon. So forget boku full money than the one we get sense. We need more sense money. So now we start this topic, very interesting. Before we talk of the conflict, with the Saudis then and the Yemenis them, I want to start with small foundational base. Just small foundational base. Let know what's the corruption starts before all in conflicts that ignite. And most of the conflicts they are, and not just ignite recently. Now something will only take place for years and years and years. Maybe even before we own existence. But we just don't know when the grudge really starts. So now we start to talk about Mr. Salman. Mr. Salman. We know say before this prince become a king, now in Papa na be the king. But in Papa not to be a king for a very long. He not be sitting on the throne for a long time. It's the first Salman. The first Salman at the age of 79, now he become king. When I listen now to this small synopsis, what they can give now, before we go deeper. At the age of 79, now this man become king inside Saudi Arabia. How come he become king? Well, a half brother wanna be the king, we die at the age of 90. King Abdullah, he died at the age of 90. Now that make Mr. Salman become the successor. And take the kingship because in half brother don't die. Well, when I look at the logic now, we say this starts from, I put first me pen and paper because I can't make sense. This half brother will just don't die at the age of 90. Mr. Abdullah. If this man be a selfish individual, not to in half brother, if I be give the successor to, or crown her as the prince or the upcoming king. If I be don't crown or make a own king, the upcoming king or the prince. But he not do that. Would I make the upcoming king? A half brother. Now let me continue. So again, this man died at the age of 90. All of a sudden, Salman become king. Salman Abdul Aziz. They want to understand now. Salman Abdul Aziz. So, Salman, the oldest surviving son. Let get this clear. Salman again, the speaking now of the papa we don't die. Pardon me. Let me clarify this. The father, not Salman Senior. Now, the Pekin, now the prince. Salman Jr. Well, not to take long, Salman also died. He also died. When he die, and boy Pekin become the king. Young Salman. But let we continue to get this story properly correct. So Salman is the oldest servant son of King Abdul Aziz. Salman is the oldest, surviving, not serving, but surviving son of King Abdul Aziz. And Salman, a major motives or initiatives, was for intervene through the war inside Yemen. Now, a main initiative this, now a main goal this. But we'll go much into this family history. I just want to clarify a few things then. So we get the previous leader, Wuna Abdullah, will die. And then Salman become, the king, the senior, at the age of 79. Mbak died, and boy Pekin, Salman Jr. became the king. And Salman Jr. gets an interest in Yemen. Now that's not the message. Get an interest in Yemen. How them people here become rich before we continue? How them become rich? Because them people here are one of the richest people here in the world. Then they spend thousands, then millions that they spend. Millions of dollars or euro, name it. Any kind of currency you want to. Now millions and then they spend. Now a family wealth, as we can put it. I want to give a small example with the Italian mob or the Italian, mafias them. Where they can talk of the Italian mafias them, so not a family related thing. You will get uncle, cousins them, brother, maybe even the mama, the wife them, whatsoever. All my involved. Now like a business. So now the same thing with Salman them, with this kinship inside Saudi Arabia. They don't tell what this family they tap into oil, or they make money out of oil, and they make sure so they involve, immediate and extended family members them. All man rich, all man eat, all man involved, but the only thing all man not go involved pa, now the kinship. Now the kinship, that's the only thing. And if them people are now the richest people inside Saudi Arabia, that means nobody not able to contend with them. Now then get Saudi Arabia. And not to just one single individual. Like an example, Saddam Hussein not be too big. We know it's not one individual where they govern or where they rule. But Salman, now a family thing. They expand. So unless if the family want turn against the kinship, but if that's not take place, it's not go easy for let anybody go infiltrate, within this kinship. Now that's how I make you understand before we continue. So let me hit the page. So in 2017, what did this young Salman do? Before we get more deeper, it decreed for allow even women for drive inside Saudi Arabia. Women not be used for drive mutuka. But now that's allowed. All this now the kind of initiative for let it buy the people them. They do harm, but they find we also for buy the people them. So let me continue. So Salman, the son, the crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman, now in full name down there. Excuse me again. Salman, this I gotta forget this because like the princes them and the kings and them Boku. So I've been need for narrow down, my information. Salman gets a son also, who now the crown prince. So now we gets this story proper. First, Salman and Papa. I put stone on my paper. Salman and Papa, before he become king, and brother, and half brother now be the king. But in brother not make him picking the successor. He make him half brother the king, Salman and Papa. Now what that man don't die, Salman and Papa don't become king. What's going to happen again? Well, if this man don't become king, therefore extend also the kingship to the extended family. Or maybe to Salman and uncle. Which now that's not be the motive. Salman and uncle for be the next successor. But that's not take place. What's they do? They make Salman the successor. So automatically, what this pa die, Salman and Papa die. Now Salman became the king. Not so in uncle. They removed that kingship there or that title away from her. Then fair way for convince him back just bow Django with the flow. So Salman this in kinship and not come in a normal way. If how things be they go, now the uncle for be the king. You know, but now Salman are the king. So once Salman now don't become the king, what he do? Maybe if good intention for be there, if we don't make maybe an uncle, a Pekin, the successor, like a nephews them. If I don't make one of a nephews them the successor, but Salman don't do that. Well, he be previously do that, but he minus that, he remove that, he obliterate that, and make a own Pekin the crown prince. Now there the corruption starts before we go into Yemen. I want to make sure so when I get time because what I put in a paper won't confuse me small. So I go for tap what's in there at the aid. So now Salman in Pekin, now the successor. Now let we continue. Let we continue. In 2015, before young Salman become king, and Papa he order bombings them na Yemen. He order bombings them na Yemen. You know, a military intervention against the Houthis with the Houthis. This na a tribal group we also reside inside Yemen, especially in the north. You know, and then tribal groups there, this group here, mixed with other tribal groups them, don't they get conflict with Saudi Arabia and also with people in within Yemen. I guess other different tribes them. So there's a civil conflict. You know, there's a regional conflict. There's all type of conflict, trade conflict, you know, political conflict. Name it, there's just conflict. So now let me continue. So the former presidents will be there also inside Yemen and they able put things there into order. You know, so in 2011, the exile, it begets for go. It be need for go. You know, because if you stay, you must die. So it be need for exile and disappear. So now, the younger half brother, you know, of King Abdul Aziz, you know, was the crown prince of Saudi Arabia, but no longer because Daniel be Salman Yonkul. I explained that too now, Salman Yonkul, you know, but that's no be. But the most important thing, I will continue for get more details there. It totally, for make this more clarified, it totally removed an uncle from being a successor on 2017, June 21st, 2017. Now this Salman do. For make sure say your uncle not get any association again with this kinship. You know, if I go, 2017, it make a decree and totally clear that this man or the part of this, you know, this kinship. An outsider now. An outsider. You know? But again, they're all wealthy, they all get money. We don't know the settlements will not take place in within. So let me continue. Now Saudi Arabia, let we get tiggy now. We'll be trying to pull our foundation area out of the way. You know? That's not just small background of this family here. You know? They get internal issues there for the kinship. Now they can go into politics. Saudi Arabia. Not to just Saudi Arabia defeats Yemen. You know? Not to just Saudi Arabia. We also get the United Emirates, where they partner with Saudi Arabia for the bombard Yemen. But not to just in two countries, they bombard Yemen. The UK and the American money or NATO also they sell weapons there to Saudi Arabia and the United Emirates for attack Yemen. All the bombs they will enter inside Yemen now from the Americans there or the Europeans there. And that's not fact. So the Americans or the Americans and they in full support of the conflict where they take place inside Yemen. Why? I go tell you, say, then just concerned about political sentiments, revenue. And that's American money concerned about. As long as then they sell weapons, then they make money, not business. They're not too concerned. And then they're against anything on a terrorist. So if they want to kill themselves, oh well, we're not go for it. So now, let we continue. So the presidents don't exile. and this is not a dirty war where they go on inside Yemen. You know, the rebels, them, they're in control of Yemen. We're not going to say 100%, but they're in control of Yemen. You know, the Houthis, with the Houthi again, the insurgents, but then get another name, what they also call them. The Ansar, with the ANSAR, army, or revolutionary group. But now Ansar, now be the official name of this group here. The Ansar, with the ANSAR. But now formally also known as the Houthis, with the Houthi, insurgents. You know, and then people here that don't really rebel against any, you know, American forces, or rebel against the Saudi Arabians, them, etc., all the national forces, them, in within Yemen. Because them back believe, say, they need to do well for the people, them. The same thing, Al-Shabaab, they claim inside, you know, Somalia, etc. But let me continue. So their Ansar army there, with the ANSAR army, they are being supported. Listen how that they support their groups there. Iran, IRAN, not to Iraq, Iran, they support this insurgent group, what we call Ansar, inside, you know, Yemen. Or you can also call them the Houthis, inside Yemen. And don't forget yesterday that we discussed more of Iran. Iran are part of ISIS, the Islamic State of Iran and Syria. ISIS. So another terrorist group, this we don't label, and the American man go counter them people at any time. So as long as Iran they support what they will call the Ansar army or the Houthis insurgents, they bound for be a conflict. And now for make you understand, this are not put on by this main information, but at the end of the day, they tell also what they conquer Iraq, or Saddam Hussein be in power, what they conquer Iraq, what the American man be they bomb Iraq, you know, massively. Not forget say Iran also but they bombard Iraq the same time. And nobody allow Saddam Hussein for sleep. The American man on the one side, the Iranians on the one side. You know, now this make them be able to conquer Saddam Hussein. You know, I make Lona believe. Because the enemies them be the outside. So now, let me continue. We don't know so now this insurgent group being supported by Iran, and Iran involved with ISIS. Now the Houthis, you know, they also get a relationship with the Sunni Muslim system. How things they become deeper. They get relationship with the Sunni Muslim system. And they recruit the Muslims, you know, people there for being parts of their own movement. You know, this Houthis movement. You know. So the Sunnis them, not so all per se, but the Sunnis they are also involved by this movement. Now the Houthis is an Islamic political and armed movement. But let me just clarify that so I know, you know, the purpose. This is not an Islamic political and armed movement. They emerged from Sada in northern Yemen. Sada with the Saada from the northern part of Yemen. Now let me continue. And this practice starts, we can say, around the 1990s, but then came in full effect in 1994, ongoing. Up to now, then they, you know, in full effect. And they in full effect for Fetch the battle. You know? Then in Sada, also the other area back where they reside, now Sana with the Sanaa. You know? Excuse me pronunciation, Sana. You know, inside Yemen. And also, we saw them people there back there. So we don't get two locations outside in there, so far, inside Yemen. But another place we saw them reside, where they create this conflict, as they say, they also they inside Saudi Arabia. They also there inside Saudi Arabia. You know, they Houthis, you know, insurgents there. Not only they inside Yemen, but they inside Saudi Arabia. So maybe now that's make the Saudi Arabians and feel like say they need for attack them people there. We don't know, but let me continue. Let me continue. So the slogan again for them people there, then Houthis people there, they get a slogan. When a Tazmo Sliz your slogan, we can use every day, almost every day. Allahu Akbar. You know, Allah is great. Now that's an young slogan. But for make this more interesting, then people there, then who this group here or insurgents group there, then get alliance them. But this now what's in again, the United States claim for partner then people there with several alliances them. We know say some them are factual alliances them, but some them we don't know, but I go still giving you the details. Then they partner with Iran. We already know that. This Houthis group. Then they partner with Iran. Then they partner with North Korea. Then they partner with Israel. They partner with Libya. Then they partner with Russia. So you start thinking tigi. They even involve Russia. They say this group here, this insurgents group, they partner with Russia. They also partner with Syria. Yeah, we know that Iran and Syria are together. The ISIS. Then the last but not the least, Oman. But they are more on the list. More on the list. Now the opposition, the people that were the defect. The opposition. Now listen to this. So before we get deeper now, the people that were the defect. The defects the Yemen, the Handi government with the HADI, Handi government. They also defect the opposition in Saudi Arabia, and also in the top list. The other one, the United Arab Emirates. We'd already know that. The other one again, Egypt. Egypt. What's Egypt going to do inside here? We don't understand. But the other one now, we know say United States they inside there. United Kingdom also they support. And France. So who say you get United States, United Kingdom, and France? A disaster. Now disaster for the Yemenis them. Pure disaster. So let me continue. So far, people in the claim say war only take place inside Yemen. They talk of things then at the media, Al Jazeera, CNN, but they need to make it look like saying a war. They make it look like saying a civil conflict. But it's not lie. Now real war they gone. Now the real war is they gone. So the UK, the US, they sell arms them. So Saudi and the Emirates them. And again, I don't explain on that. All the bombs them, where they dropped at them countries. Now this country they come out from there with NATO partners them. And then weapons there, including chemical weapons them. Chemical weapons them. Also radioactive range weapons them. And I will show now the impediments. I will elaborate on that at the end. What's in the chemical weapons they don't cause inside Yemen? Look, I know say very serious. Right now, nobody need to talk of the issues that will take place inside Yemen. All man they make mumu. Now so back it will take place inside Ukraine. All man make mumu. Then we kind of Africa. Well, we they go slaughter we like fall them. Then go slaughter until they make big fool. Then go slaughter we like fall them. Now we continue until they be used for hungry. Now slaughter then go to slaughter we like fall them. Let me continue. So, when I don't forget, say also in 2018, Mr. Jamal, Khashoggi, if not so pronounce the last name, that be a journalist, was then killed inside Turkey by the Saudi government. That be order given by the Saudi government, whether now Salman Jr., make this order here. But now all man, they point finger pa. But there was a journalist where they talk against the corruption where they take place inside Saudi Arabia. So inside they go target this man here inside Turkey. And then they go knock and down. And the Turkey president, well, he not be mute about things. He exposed everything. Now one thing that I go give credit to Turkey for. Because at the end of the day, if he puts the blame on, but he exposed all thing to all thing. Which today now enough evidence there for point finger say now Salman now be order the strike. But they able to touch Salman? No. Because then telling the Salman begets Donald Trump now in pocket. They control Donald Trump like puppet. Before that Obama and Papa begets him back now in pocket. Even the kings or the prince them within Europe, they go to the queen. They under the leadership of them people here inside Saudi Arabia, them pocket. Anything they able to silence them, say una set smart, forget slow, move on. You know, so what are they control? What are they in control? We go say NATO now the world greatest power, but really now would I get capital, then they control. I make you now understand this, and that's not logic. You go get arms them, you go get weapons them, you know, but currency, they control things them. And I go tell you now how currency they control things them. Where will they end this episode? So now let me continue. The negative effects of the war where they take place now inside Yemen. What woman are they born? What woman are they born? Most of them they experience the chemical drop or the bomb stem by then countries they are the United Emirates and Saudi Arabia. You know, then chemicals there affect beaucoup comrades will be gebele. They affect beaucoup comrades will be gebele. So most of them picking now where they born, then deform. Then they come on normal. You know, then they come on normal, then deform. And another greatest challenge for the young picking the way they come up inside Yemen, you know, the malnutrition. You know, no, not too healthy. Everything abnormal. Now, let me start to go more into details. You know, the picking the biggest sick we can identify. Now, Kwashiorkor. We can say Kwashiorkor is big in Africa. But also they inside Yemen, inside the Middle East. Kwashiorkor. Now, one person really totally not healthy. They eat the right foods there, the right minerals there. You know, and what's now the humanitarians they do for counter this? Because not all my able forget this, you know, supplements here. Now milk. Most of them picking away they suffer, you know, through this Kwashiorkor. Now just milk, they face cam, put them in the hospital, maybe 2, 3, 4 days. Then give them enough milk for me to, you know, return back to normal. You know, just milk and other basic things then. You know? So now that's not the cure so far, but the malnutrition, and this Kwashiorkor, they affect most of the Pikine, and the one that now when they born also they become, you know, then deform. Whether, you know, the anal complete, the face bend, the teeth, you know, it just what picking and deform, you know what they talk of. Then just totally deform. All this now through the bombings them was Saudi Arabia, United Emirates, you know, done the bomb, you know, inside Yemen. And then weapons there come out from, you know, NATO and Europe. So now, let me continue. The Saudis and then claim say that they target again military facilities them. You know, etc. When at the same bombardments they take place inside Ukraine. When, excuse me. You know, Russia they claim sending back the military site say that they attack. But as civilians they suffer the casualties. You know? In the end, why make Russia not go get away with this? Because while Saudis and they do them, you know, while the United Arab or Emirates and they do them, and if they use the American man bombs then for do them, the American man no go talk say, you know, now human rights abuse, no points finger at Saudi Arabia, etc. So now what Russia they do, the American man go point finger say, now human rights abuse. It makes sense. You know, Putin they listen to NATO. Anything on NATO they talk now out of big fool. You know, out of just ideologies then we don't make any more sense. Because 1 minute una they do the same thing, then what we do now points finger. Who that corrupt? You know? So again, I make what I can talk say cyber war is very serious. All the information the way they come to the media, me and you they watch, now we call cyber war also. You know? Cyber war. And cyber war is more deeper. I will go into that. Let God make and not forget. Giving us more instances of cyber war. You know. But let me continue now. Let me continue. So about 400,000 Pikine starve. You know, during the war in Yemen. About 400,000 Pikine starve during the war in Yemen. And then still starve. The starve still continue. The war not done it so. I talked earlier, say people in the claim say there's no war in Yemen. But what did they? The war not done it. You know, the war not done it. So 400,000 people are still starving inside Yemen. You know? And now let me continue. I'm going to explain small on the disputes here. One about land, trade, economy, Most important, now religion. Most important dispute, now religion. They get religion conflict. You know, and when they talk of religion, when I go think so when they say Muslims there, they're all not just the same. No. The Muslims there, they get different prophets. Some of them believe in Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you know, Prophet Muhammad. Some of them get another different prophet to them believe in. You know, not to just one or two or three different prophets. So maybe now some of we no more we believe in Prophet Muhammad, but other one in there we believe in different prophets. Yeah? Put this on the head there. So this religion conflict is very deep inside Yemen. You know? And now let me continue. The major revenue stream inside Saudi Arabia, and that's not a secret, now oil. The major revenue stream inside Saudi Arabia, now oil. Now they lead this movement when it comes to oil. They govern the business. The Saudis there. Now that's give them money. What a man they had to spend. What's the king ready for move with the entourage? Now maybe 2-3 planes they cha-cha. That man they spend, you know, if I pass them 2-3-5 million. Now not money for him. And they spend it in lower than, you know, thousands and millions and the man they spend. Don't continue, bro. Don't continue. So currently, inside the north parts of Yemen, they go through struggles them. They suffer. They suffer for what? What you not get? Oil. Even though Yemen back now the second, you know, producers of oil after Saudi Arabia, Yemen back gets major oil production. But so far the conflict don't make, you know, they don't even see oil. And the whole northern area, they don't cut them off from anything related to oil or even goods and we're supposed to meet them for their survivals. You know, they don't isolate the northerners. And that's take place inside Yemen. You know, so oil not there inside Yemen. And I go tell her now, what's in this the cause? Now a disaster. What oil need to go inside Yemen, especially in the northern area. Now a disaster. And one thing I want to emphasize, most of the Yemenis them per week now 40 liters no more fuel they sell you. 40 liters. And what would they sell with the grumble? Oh, they sell with the grumble. Yeah, now 40 liters no more per week they sell you. So when you go buy 40 liters fuel, if a manager and take the week done before they give you chance back for go buy another. Unless if you get influence, so you know, but fuel business it tight inside Yemen. The queue or the line is long. So I make a tell man and say, man for begin buy bicycle, yeah. Well, you know, when you get bicycle now for pedal no more. Pedal no more, you don't need fuel. They tell us something. People they survive in those days with bicycle. From village to village. Maybe from the village self to the city. With bicycle no more. We're not going to die for fuel. So this oppression don't affect the Yemenis them. This oppression. And also sanctions them from the US and the UK. You know, both say again, they appear inside Yemen frequent. But cargo goods them. You know, ships they go again at the docks them. So all this now for just make sure say Yemen and collapse. You know, Yemen for totally collapse. Therefore bow jet. If they're not bow jet to Saudi Arabia, now problem for them. And Saudi Arabia now get the support of then Chris Mane or the number one rebels then at the world, the US and the UK. Now the number one rebels them. Very soon myself go begin to call terrorist groups them. And it's not elect for call people and terrorists. Very soon Tazmo will begin to call America and UK a terrorist group. NATO. Now the NATO will call terrorists. May they not come for me just now. I know we continue. So 40 liters per week. 40 liters per week. And the sanctions then they're heavy. Now, what's your oil they do? I'm not going to able to tell you all the products where they come out from oil, but the basic, we know say oil, you get fuel out of them, the crude oil, because they start first with the crude oil. Whether they pull from the ground or from the water or whatever they pull up. You start with crude oil, we then go for, process. So you get fuel out of that, you get motor oil out of that, you get engine oil out of that, and other lubrication system out of them things there. And more products them. So now, the third thing, now most areas inside Yemen, they depend on oil for electricity. They depend on oil for electricity. So right now, most places inside Yemen are blackout. Now blackout because oil not there. Oil not there. Now, let me continue again. And the Saudis, them, the funny part, listen to this, before we get to another interesting part. What in the Saudis did they do? All the militant, personnel say where they send inside Yemen for go fight. Not to all of them are Saudis them. They hire military personnel them from Sudan. The most corrupt place inside East Africa. So all the military personnel there are from Sudan, the Saudis and the pull them for go fight inside Yemen. And that's to take place. So they may capture few, Sudanese them inside Yemen, and then back confess to this. They talk saying that the Saudi government hire them for go fight. But they will not see the corruption. Poverty will make one day, even Sierra Leoneans will take arms for go fight. And they tell you now something. When they put money before you, they pay for your life. You go left money now to your family members them. You go sacrifice your life, for go fight. That's how the deal can go. But when I don't continue, I know what they do. But if they face kind nonsense in a salon, we go take arms stand for defense salon, the green, white, and blue. And that's what we go do. But if they want to fly with we go other side, we not there for that. So I don't continue. I don't tell you I say just no ships there. Then they enter the docks them. And the other crisis now, the fishermen are not able to go fish. Because fuel no dey, oil no dey. Now food no dey come out from the dock. Ships no dey count food. Now the most basic thing we they also need for go to eat, we get nutrition. Fish, no able to go further than the sea for go fish. Because fuel no dey. And even if you feel less for go fish, what's going to take place? Well, the Saudi coalition, groups them. Don't forget, the Saudis also they control, the water area of Yemen. Now this area, the Saudis they control this area. So any fisherman wouldn't see, they go too far, they go bombard you, they kill you. Because they go think say they go or they transport, ammunition still. So the Yemens do not get collapse, at all. The Yemenism do not get any collapse at all. And all this, they not the media. Nobody know the alarm. Nobody know the talk. All man make mumu. Because why? Why make all man go make mumu? Even myself, I don't go lie, I panic small. Because they talk of the Saudi prince, Salman, if someone in office, he order for somebody in assassination. Mr. Donaldson, Eric Handel. My brother, this is not funny. That man can't order for anybody in assassination. They get money in a billionaires, them. Even Tazmo Sliz is like Anch. If I maybe too pass smart gist, you see? So no big journalist institution, starting with Al Jazeera, etc., go talk about the media. You go talk small, you left small. CNN go talk small, they left small. Anybody will go too far, they don't want you, they silence you. Say go inside America, not care if inside America you born, now you there, you get money till you left. If they want to kill you, now the American man in back they send for go kill you because the man in money is able to control una and buy una. The money they buy lives them, they buy countries them. They buy war. And that's what they're about. They spend money for buy war. You know? So would I be able to tell this man the truth now? Since the beginning of my foundation, you know, narration so I be the Guna, that's the way this man came to power. And I be normal. Me to myself, maybe the former, you know, king will first die before he hand over the position to Salman and Papa. I don't think say it just die so, but I gotta take time to talk. And when he die, listen back the funny thing. And not to say Salman and Papa back die. You know? And Salman came into power. By now, not to Salman for they into power. By now, not Salman and uncle for they into power. But they don't pull the uncle out of the kingship totally. Now that Salman in Pekine, and then they control the business inside Saudi Arabia. United Emirates, then just take a big fool, they support. You know? So, now that's the go on. And the most fearful thing this folk will consider. You know, Saudi Arabia gets great influence in any terrorist group them, you know, in any terrorist group them. And I think so they don't terrorist group them, they more partner with NATO. As long as they partner with NATO, nobody will be able to touch them. Because they can get as many weapons as they want, or any kind of weapons as they want, and use them on any population, and nobody will complain. United Nations no go alarm, nobody no go alarm. You know? So, I didn't message this for the day. Let me all wise up. And I be say I need for elaborate on something. I need for come back now the mind. We need for come back. About cyber war. About cyber war. You know, Tego thank Alhamdulillah, you know, the brain able for reflects back. Cyber war, not to just the messages them. Now the media. Cyber war, there is a way they can cause a harm or a damage to your system, now your country. For example, let me say you banks them, you know, or major institutions them. They get a system, a network, you know. Cyber war, some of them countries there, they can able to attack their systems there and put viruses them inside your system. We go turn off or shut down any operations the way they take place in your country, which go put you to a loss. You know, bank go close that day. Maybe your power supply go off, etc., etc. You're not gonna ever able to do anything that day unless you work things out with the one that we don't put virus in your system. And then terrorist group there where they do their cyber wars there go demand certain money. So if you don't get the expertise for remove the virus there, for let your system come back to normal, you get for pay this money here for me to remove the virus and for let you continue. So that means your system never safe. It never safe. So now this the American man they be done they do, and now other countries they practice them. So now I make what the war for take place, not to just war per se, but cyber war also they in effect. For shuts down factories them, shuts down facilities them, shuts down anything where they create revenue or where they help for make, you know, progress for that country and growth one. As long as they're able to shut you down for 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, they don't succeed. Even if they shut you down for 1 hour, come on, try for pull voice for this. Even for 1 hour they shut you down, it don't affect, you know, your country instability totally. Totally. So now one thing people for worry about, for be concerned about, because now one of the greatest war that, and at that time we do inside Ukraine. Before war really take place inside Ukraine, before Russia go invade Ukraine, so the first war will really be major. Russia will attack Ukraine through cyber war. And then collapse Ukraine, you know, now they don't enter for go invade. And that's not the reality. So if you blind, I hope you really see. If you deaf, now for try for hearing. Because Tazmo Sliz go make sure say, una get the message. Inshallah. Una stay blessed on a boy against Tazmo Sliz the servant, aka Bepeko. And this week we don't go hard. So we go try for take, you know, a break. You know, hopefully we're not go see take Tuesday. I need, you know, interval, 2 days interval, you know. I really try for rest. But if any small basic conversation come up, When I go must get some from Tazmo, you know. But things that we need for do research on, because we can let for talk on major issues there, you know, concrete issues there. What Tazmo can also they do research on, you know. We're not gonna do any major topic maybe till next week, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. So this weekend, Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday, we will just chill and cruise, you know, chill and cruise. Bygones be bygones. When I stay blessed, when I stay blessed. Hey, Mr. Salman, I beg you, I don't have a small corner there, I'm a poor boy, you know, but the world need for know the truth. There, no assassinates me.